In today's video, we're going to be exploring 10 strategies that you can adopt to save your marriage. And for more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. The first strategy is communication. Establishing open and honest communication with your spouse, making an effort to listen actively and expressing your feelings and needs without judgment or criticism. Easier said than done. A simple way to think of it is describe your own feelings and needs and not them and their character. If you're focusing on describing them and their character, it will be perceived as criticism and contempt on their side. That is usually met with defensiveness, where they won't take responsibility, and stonewalling, which is where they withdraw from the relationship. So how it looks is, instead of saying something like, you did this, you never do this, you always do this, this is describing the other person. Instead, say something like, when this happened, so when you didn't come home on time, or when the dishes weren't done, or whenever we don't spend much time together, I feel, and then you describe your feelings. Make sure they're real feelings. Feelings like sadness, disconnected, unloved. These are feelings, right? Then you describe your needs. I really need partnership, connection, time, okay? So the needs and feelings need to be explored as opposed to describing the other person. That's a really important tip. This level of communication usually elicits action from the other person, because if you describe your feelings and needs, they should usually respond with some kind of action. If they respond by invalidating your feelings and needs, that's a form of gaslighting, and that could be a sign that you're dealing with a narcissist. The next thing you can do is to seek professional help. Consider a marriage relationship program like Spark to work through your issues. A professional can really provide guidance and facilitate productive conversations. We're different at Spark because we also believe in teaching. So we're a skill development course. We actually teach a range of skills across a marriage. So we're looking across a marriage, all the different things that you need to learn to be a great partner to somebody. And I really believe that, if we were pulled aside in high school and actually taught this stuff, we'd probably be better at relationships. It took me some failures and a lot of research and a lot of study to actually come up with what the program components need to be. We've had a massive success rate with all the couples that we've worked with within the Spark program. So identifying and addressing your underlying issues. So actually looking at what are the specific problems that we have. Often the problems that you have are what we call perpetual problems. They happen over and over again. Okay, and taking time to really understand the root causes of those problems. It could be related to trust or to intimacy or to compatibility, and addressing them openly and constructively. It's important. Again, easier said. It's often easier to do that with a third party present, particularly if the issue is a hot topic. The fourth thing you can think about is really prioritizing quality time together. Oftentimes when I work with couples, the sad thing for me is everything's really heavy. They've been through years of therapy or lots of counseling, and everything is very heavy and intense, and everybody feels like they need to fix themselves and it's broken. And this context is messy, and the context is really decisive in how we do something. So the context we have within Spark is it's a learning program. It's fun. It's lightness. We're focused on winning. We're focused on making steps and teaching things to help people win at this game called relationships. And if people, in the beginning steps, we're in our sandbox and we're allowed to fail at stuff. We're allowed to make mistakes, and we're having fun together and bringing lightness. So when you're focused on spending quality time together, make an intentional effort to spend time doing fun things that you enjoy, and kind of forget about all the relationship challenges for a while. Just having some nice times together, whether that be going out for dinner and drinking too many cocktails, or going go-kart racing, or learning how to escape from an escape room, whatever it be. It rekindles just some fun and lightness and creating those positive memories. And it also is a really important way to override that negative sentiment Eeyore feeling within the relationship. The fifth thing you can think about is showing appreciation and affection. Expressing gratitude and affection for your spouse. Small gestures of kindness or some compliments or acts of service, they can really make a significant difference in fostering love and connection. If you feel that sense of disconnection, oftentimes like thinking, well, when last did I pay my spouse a compliment? When last was I appreciative? Was I nice to that person? That can often be what's at the source of the issue. The sixth thing to think about is developing empathy and understanding. Putting yourself in your spouse's shoes and trying to understand their perspective. Practicing empathy, validating their feelings and experiences, even if you disagree. So a tactic that I recommend when we're listening to a partner is a deep form of not just active listening, but really attuning to your partner. What it looks like is your partner might be sharing something. The things that they're sharing could be really triggering you. You might want to meet what they're saying with logic. And no, that's not what happened. And this is what happened. And you're remembering wrong. And, suspend your agenda. Just actually listen to what they've said. Zoom in on what they said. Maybe, okay, I understand where you're coming from. I'm going to just see if I've understood what you said correctly. You said this, and this, and you feel like this, and this is what it sounds like you need. Have I understood you correctly? Literally just repeating back what they have said and making sure that they feel that you've really understood them before you rush in with your perspective or your point of view can really validate their feelings and experiences, even if you disagree. The seventh thing to think about is to compromise and find common ground. Marriage actually really requires compromise to find common ground. Seeking solutions that meet both of your needs and both of you actually being willing to make some concessions for the sake of the relationship. If your approach in life is it's my way or the highway, I'm sorry to say good luck to you in having a successful relationship, because that's just not the way relationships work in practice. It cannot be a situation where one person's will just completely overrules everything, unless that's the context right from the start. Most relationships work in the spirit of mutuality, and concessions for the sake of the relationship are usually key for that to happen. The eighth thing you can think about is rebuilding trust. So if trust has been broken, you can work towards rebuilding it. And that might involve being transparent, or keeping your promises, or demonstrating consistency and good behavior over time. Building a positive track record, yes, it does take time, but by showing the person, I might have done something over there, but over here you can see I have consistency. I am being my word. I am doing what I said. It builds a new track record and can kind of heal the issues from the past. Number 9 is fostering individual growth. So really encouraging your own personal growth and supporting each other's goals and aspirations. So recognizing that in a strong marriage, it includes really supporting each other's individuality. Encourage your partner to go and take their pilot's license if that was a dream that they had, or encourage your partner to go and do that cooking course or whatever it is that they want to do. And supporting them on their own individuality. If they have past trauma, that they go and get the help that they need to process their trauma. And number 10, which is probably my favorite, which is maintaining a sense of humor. Bringing lightness to everything. Finding ways to laugh together and keeping the atmosphere lighthearted. Humor can really diffuse tension and create a positive atmosphere in the relationship. And what's interesting on the Spark program, we really focus in shifting the environment and the context and the atmosphere of the relationship before we work on the really tough stuff. Oftentimes with marriage counseling, everybody just trudges in and they just start with the really dark, really heavy stuff right from the get-go. It's a terrible idea. Remember, saving a marriage takes effort, commitment, and patience from both partners. And it's important to be realistic about the challenges ahead. And if you're both willing to put in the work to rebuild and strengthen your relationship, I predict positivity and success for you. If you want to find out more about the Spark program, be sure to book a clarity call on our website and we'll tell you more about it. Take care.